Hey, collective. I hope you've been looking good, feeling good, smelling good, eating good, drinking good, thinking good thoughts, having a good time, sharing good energy with people, in good places, doing good things. All right. Let's see, who is this reading for or about? Who is this reading for or about? All right. Somebody's being shown something or seeing something. About a nine of pentacles energy. Like it's basically maybe somebody's finding out the true nature of what that is. Yeah. And it's helping this person get unstuck. True nature about what? Or who? Oh, okay. Maybe the reason somebody like regrets something. It's like, I don't know. It's given 7 of Cups though, just because of the sangria and like the thing, because it's reminding me of that jug of it's that wine that comes in the big jug. Is it called Parmesan? Ooh, now I'm gonna want to know what it is. Now I'm gonna want to know what it is. Hold on, collective. Okay, it's Carlos Rossi. You know, the one that comes in the jug like that. It's that one. It's given that. So maybe somebody's drinking a lot too. Because I feel like whatever is happening with this whole, like whenever they drink, it's one of those. I don't know. It's like it gets them full of the wrong energy. You know, those are spirits though. But I don't know. There's something there. This person is, there's something that's not coming to this person. Yeah, it's some money maybe, or a job. I don't know why that's coming up. Nope. Yep. Because this person hasn't figured out who they are. Like they can't get in a groove. They can't get into like, you know, it's kind of like that whole like building the ambiance. Like this person hasn't manifested anything for themselves. They haven't been focused on, like some people are focused on their careers. Some people are focused on, you know, their children. Some people are focused on, you know, learning more. Some people are focused on traveling. Some people are focused on fashion. Like it just, the list goes on, right? This person has nothing that they're focused on that allows them to be able to even be in a dynamic. I don't think they get that though. It's like there's no place for this until you really get your life together. It's that it takes 2 energy again. But this is somebody who like doesn't know how to dance, doesn't know like how to do the dance of life. So this person really has never taken care of themselves before, it looks like. Yeah. Yeah. And just the fact that this is even a paintbrush, like I dated someone who was a painter, like a home painter and like businesses and, you know, like big, you know, big industrial type buildings and stuff like that as well. And it's a hard job, you know. I respected my person at the time, you know, because that's a past person, for the hard work that they put in. And I always tried to show that as much as I possibly could. So I'm getting like, that may be what's lacking too. This person doesn't understand that. And it takes time to learn how to dance. That's what I said from the previous reading. Like it takes time. You have to be able to, you know, make the time for the dance lessons, have the money for the dance lessons. Like, you know, all of these things, the effort, the energy, the desire. You know, what kind of dance do you like, you know? Do you like to tango? Do you like the bachata? You know, That was funny too, because prior to now, I was getting ready to do the reading, and I was like, yeah, it's like people literally think that, like, with all these other things that you can indulge in and you can engage in, why are they indulging and engaging in you? You know what I mean? The collective, it's like, why are they constantly watching and trying to do something with respect to you? Because it doesn't get them anywhere. And you're steadily learning your lessons and understanding what's next and, you know, making the right moves to achieve that. I don't know. This person got my nose itching. Yeah, it's kind of like somebody doesn't want to understand that they're done and over with, maybe even. It's those people who, you know, just don't want to let go. Because it's not that they can't. They just don't want to. And it's like, okay, well, you also have to accept that the collective doesn't want to deal with you. It's like it's a two-way street, you know. Okay, yeah, we see you. You in your lane. You over there, you know. Do what makes you happy, you know. I hear somebody maybe would be doing some ironing. Whoa, whoa. This person, whoever this is, feels like the collective had a like triumphed over them. Like whomever this person, I don't know the ironing energy, because I don't know where. I mean, I know where it came up. It was on one of these cards. I saw someone ironing. But someone feels like someone defeated them. They know they are defeated with respect to like the collective. I'm thinking that maybe they're understanding that like it's a mutual thing. Like it takes two to tango. So like the person that they're into is also into them, right? And they both have the same values, and that's why they work so well together. And you can't discount that energy. It's like, especially if these are hardworking individuals, like in whatever it is that they do. You know, there are people out here that are influencers that can become, you know, and move their way into, you know, just being full-fledged, you know, storefront owners if they wanted to. You know, it just depends on where their desire is with what they like in fashion. You know, that may be some people's goal. They use what they can put on when they get ready to go to their work or, you know, out on the weekend and whatever to build up the influence, right? That's why they're called influencers, to build up the influence to gain, you know, the popularity, right? That's what the purpose is. And then from there, show, you know, more progress is I guess, like this person is not, they're not, you're one of those people, collective, that shows progress. You're always progressing. Look, split it on the base. You're always progressing. Yeah, and you progress because you think. That's the Knight of Pentacles, but that person was clearly running on that. So I guess maybe like after being in some thinking energy and knowing, then you're ready to strike, right? And maybe that's where you are right now, or whomever triumphed over this energy, is whoever feels like they were triumphed over by this energy. You know, yes, that's the reality. This person triumphed over you. They were able to learn how to dance. It's almost like if there was a dance competition and, you know what I mean, like this person was trying to go to an audition. Well, if you've never practiced, you don't even have a place in that's the kind of energy it is. It's like it takes so much time. You know, these people are trying to, you know, oh, I want to go be a professional dancer. It's like, okay, what dance? I don't know. Or what? What's that came out? Yeah, this person really needs to get serious. This person hasn't been serious about their life. This person hasn't been serious about their life at all. There's a lot of work energy coming out here. That's where they striked out. It's like not having any life experience, really, you know? Ooh, yep. And they know that this defeat is very strong. Like they know that there's nothing that can, yeah, that's been aired out is what I'm understanding. Yep. People are calling this person a fool. They're looking at them as like being really stuck in some childhood trauma. So they may look at this person as needing like a psychological evaluation. If that's the case, please do, like I said in all my previous, yeah, especially when they drink, please get this person some help. You know, that's a dangerous thing to play with. You know, this person, you know, may drink themselves into a coma or, you know what I mean? And I honestly get the feeling that like, no one would care. It wouldn't matter to these people. They'd be like, well, this person, you know, shouldn't have been drinking. This person shouldn't have been, you know, thinking about the collective. This person shouldn't have been, you know, focusing in a place where they're don't belong. Again, you cannot show up to the audition and you've never danced in your life. You cannot show up to the audition, and the audition is just to get you a spot in line. It's just to get you a spot in line to become someone that can compete for a position. It's not even, you're not even in. Once you even get the dance down, you're not in. You got to go to the audition. I don't know if this person gets it. I don't feel like they do, because I'm getting like irritated that it's like, hello, if you want to be in a competition, you have to actually know how to dance. You can't, I mean, and even if it's like a natural thing, it's a natural thing that you probably do all the time because it's something that feeds your spirit. It feels good to you. You know, you enjoy your time in that. And whatever's happening here in this, this tango working energy, it's actually bringing in a lot of new foundations for a lot of new opportunities. Like, it's just, I'm seeing the world card right now. It's like this whole cycle was completed so well. Oh, look, the sun. Maybe it's going to be seen in the summertime, because that's kind of given like California summertime vibes with the palm tree. And I wouldn't say Florida because it didn't give me Florida. It gave California. I've been to both, so I know that, you know, usually those are the places where the this person is trying to avoid a tower. Like, I don't know, like this person is hoping that it can be a personal tower, is what I'm getting here, to come over this strength like that. This person is hoping that it can be a personal tower, but it won't, because whatever they did was public. That's what I'm understanding. Like, whatever they did, whatever their downfall is, they did it publicly. Yep. Just the Ace of Cups. I'm getting like, it's also representing new love here too. I just want to be completely, like, you may, collective, this is for you because you're in the new, right? The new you that, you know, you've been working so hard on, so you could go to the audition and, you know, end up one of the judges. Anyway, but there's so much potential right now, is what I'm understanding. Like, that's what makes the hot energy, because there's so much passion about what you're pursuing. There's so much devotion to it. There's so much, I hear like notoriety and like, remember I said concept, you know, the people who are influencers, and then they go on to, you know, open a storefront, you know, and it was just based off of their little outfits from their 9 to 5 until they had it. You know what I mean? It's like, you have a drive, you know, that you've been cooking up, you know what I mean? It's given that energy too. You know, like what are those things? A pressure cooker? Maybe that, you know what I mean? But you use them. Like, pressure cookers are good. We need those, right? And maybe that's also something that exists within you. Like, your ability to work in all different kinds of situations and circumstances. Like, you you remain calm. You keep your cool. You're not, you know, far stretching yourself, because you realize, you know, what's your energy and what's not. And you learned how not to give it away to other people as well. Yeah. This person is stuck on thinking that it's going to be one of those things that's like so quick. Maybe there's something that they know. About some money. Maybe they just know like how quickly this money is going to come together for you. I feel like that's what's in their mind. Maybe this is something they've always known, like from the instant that they met you. Is that you were always like, I don't know, maybe that's like their realization, like you always knew that this person was a good person. You always knew, like you could tell by the way this person treated you, by the way the collective treated you. Everybody can. It's just often people don't acknowledge it outwardly. Yeah, like truth and fact, baby. Yeah. Ooh, it's about that manifestation energy, your ability to be like, okay, I can go ahead and you know, work on something else that I'm passionate about, something that I enjoy, something that I, would have a goal. It could be, bike riding. You could just, be into fixing up bikes. That's giving, it's kind of giving that energy. It's like whatever you want. Because to me, it's giving that energy of like this. I saw this little short that comes up about this guy in the neighborhood who wears I think he wears pink glasses, and all the kids in the neighborhood know where he is and know where he lives and stuff. These kids probably come from listen, these are kids who have bikes. So, okay, so let me just be clear. These kids are probably coming from within a mile or 5 miles radius, I would believe. Yeah, it's probably going to spread out, but I believe it's already within a mile. But these kids know who this guy is. They all come looking for him to help them fix their bike. It's giving that energy like this is what that man enjoys. So after his 9 to 5, you know what I mean? He's able to, dig into what it is that, and even if it's not 9 to 5, it is what it is. Like he's able to give back and do the things that he really wants to. It's this very balanced. It's like the Sweets Cafe. Delicious, right? It's this very delicious energy. I've been guided to do a love reading for a while. Yeah. Look, now it's the King of Pentacles. Yeah. Wow. This is literally like something somebody manifested. That's all I keep seeing over here with this. This is something somebody manifested. And they were like, okay, like even if they had 2 left feet, they were like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the lessons and learn how to, do the jiggle shake and whatever it is. I learned how to do the tick today. I watched the video and I was like, that's what it was. But yeah, like I think that's what the issue is like people don't realize like you have so many interests, you have so many things that you likely are good at or that entertain you, or they don't know about what's going on in your life. I feel like the list keeps just getting longer and longer too, and these people are again focused on you, so that's what deters them from having this kind of lineup. They can't be enjoying their cycle of life right now, being the pink eyeglass bicycle guy. They have a lot of hard work in front of them, to learn how to dance. The lack of this, expertness, right, is what keeps them from having the money. Like, remember Bubble Yum? The last time you had a piece of that. I actually still buy that stuff because my kids, but I'm not one of those people that like gives it to them all the time though. And I think that's maybe what's happened here with this person. It's like they were always given, to from others. Maybe they came off as like maybe people always felt sorry for this person. And maybe that's what this person is starting to realize. Like, it's really that people felt sorry for you. Even if you weren't lying, they felt sorry for you because you're a liar kind of energy. Like, people felt sorry for you because they could see that you didn't see where you were heading and you were just going. That's the energy I'm getting, for real, for real. They were just going with it. It was like, okay, you finna get drunk. Look, you finna get drunk. But it's not in like the right way. They put the crown on the cup instead of on the person. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, and you are so heavily in this treat yourself energy. That came out the other day. Maybe this person has always felt like that was them too, because of the way people pitied them. It wasn't like admiration. It wasn't like, oh, we can see that, you've really been doing the right thing. It's like, damn, I feel really sorry for you because you look like one of the people that's going to be left behind. I'm just being honest. Like, you look like you're not going to make it on the trip. Oh, whatever this is, they don't want this to come out. Yeah, they don't want you to know that someone is full of, love and passion for you. Look at the smoke is coming out this person's butt. So they don't want you to know that the person that you want to be with is matched up with you. So masculine energies, if you're thinking that the feminine energy is not into you the same way, oh, it's absolutely not true. Divine feminine. If you think that your new person is not into you the way that, you think they should be, just chill. You're about to be, it's about to be some smoke out the butt. Yeah. And I feel like because it passed all the stuff over here, like whenever the cards go really far away, it's trying to say like this is a part of the manifestation. This is a part of what's being worked on right now. And there's nothing that anybody can do about those things. Where'd this one go? Yeah, it's that energy of they're wanting you or your person to stop realizing that like you don't care about what other people think, because people are going to have opinions just like they have booty holes. Yeah. And also understanding what abusive power means, like that it literally has no power. They're abusing the power that they have in their own life. Are you understanding me? Abusive power can only be maintained and actually be effective when the other person is affected by it. Collective, you're so unbothered here. You're like, you're at an audition. You're judging next week, right? You started out at the audition. This person saw you when you were in the audition stage. It was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that too. Okay. I don't know. Maybe they thought that they could, manifest, to a right and a left foot. But they weren't taking care of themselves in the proper way. Like they were just trying to be seen for what they could be. They weren't actually taking the time out for practice. You talking about practice? Talking about practice? What's that about? We talking about practice? Yeah. This person doesn't like the way that you're not responding to them, that like you're not, it doesn't matter, it doesn't change anything. Yeah, that builds a lot of pressure in this person's mind. Essentially though, the thing is that this person doesn't realize is because they're in this helpless energy, it's unattractive. Helpless energy is unattractive all day. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. And don't sit up here and lie and say that men like women as damsel in distress. They like to use women that are damsels in distress. They like to manipulate women that are damsels in distress, right? They like to burden women and add more stuff on to women who are, listen, a man coming around talking about he loves you because you're strong, it's because he know he about to put a bunch of stuff on you. I just get that feeling like you like me because I'm strong? Why, you think I'm finna take a lot of you? Like that meme I posted. I am not Rihanna. I do not love the way you lie. And I know that's just a song. It was actually probably a sarcastic section of the song, if you ask me. Like I can see the undertones. You did not love that. Correct. I keep shuffling and it keeps ending up on the bottom. So this person really feels like they want you to help them, and that's just not an option. There's nothing that you can help this person do. I don't know how else to explain it. Again, they need to go box it out with the pillow. They need to go take it out, on themselves, And they feel like they don't want to be rushed into letting go of whatever it is, how they're feeling about you. But in reality, that's been their problem all along. They never know when to let go. They always want to have that more time. Well, I'm not ready yet. Or, it takes time. Like, no, you have to actually start living in the other direction. Like until if you are this way and you're supposed to be that way, which it seems is the situation here, you need to go that way. Because they're looking at you over here, not realizing that the only entrance is on this side. You're over here because the entrance is on this. This person is so off kilter, so off the rocker, so, that's literally like, they saw you do that though. It's almost kind of like this person saw you walk away from them. They saw you turn away and say, I'm not turning back. It says, do not turn back at the bottom. I'm not turning back. They saw when that happened. Maybe they thought you was going in the wrong direction, collective. Clearly that's not the situation. I don't know if I'm even taking these, because when they fall out on the floor, I feel like people are trying to, be in that stomp this energy out. Yeah. This person may feel some kind of way because you're still in this, like, you don't want to talk to them. This person feels like you have your head in the clouds, but it's actually like, no, I have my head in the right place. Like I'm being guided. There's a reason my head can be in the clouds right now, is because I'm being guided. I'm following the divine. But they've always had you pegged wrong. You know what I mean? They've always misconstrued everything that you've done previously. So it's like it's probably going to take them a while. They're probably going to have to hit below rock bottom, it seems, because it feels like rock bottom is already out here. Yep. Because this card is all bent up too. And this is the one that I was like, I'm not sure. When I was, pulling them, I was like, yeah, see, the car's still flipping around. This person has some father wounds. This person maybe even didn't want to become who their father was. Maybe they held on to that so much, but they couldn't figure out like what a father looked like because they didn't have one. So this is not a real, like, I'm getting it's some masculine energy I'm talking about, but it keeps flip-flopping between masculine and feminine though, energy. But like, it's something about not having, they have daddy issues. They straight up have daddy issues. And they don't realize what that means. They feel like because they don't have any issue with their dad, and it's like, no, you have issues from the relationship that your father had with you, sweetheart. You have issues from the way that things went throughout the course of your childhood without your father present. That's why you have daddy issues. See what I'm saying? Like, you don't even know what type of dance you want to do. They don't even know where to, they don't realize you have to turn around. Whichever way you see the collective at, that's not the way to get to them, number one. Number two, they're already where they need to be on the dance floor, about to become and win the spot for the judge. Right, collective? You in this resplendent energy, right? Mind. If it looks like this person is minds is full of thought, their heart is full of, emotions, their spirit is being guided. I'm getting that from the flower energy. Just like I said, this person's head in the clouds. Yeah. Ooh. Maybe this is how these people imagined you in their dreams. Like in your dreams that I would be some rotten person that wasn't worthy of having, this resplendent mind, heart, space, life experience, right? It's almost giving that, like they made you out to be such a, they tried to bury you, because I'm getting that feels much like someone was, like someone was buried, alive, and they just walked up out the grave like, yo, you're tripping. Stop being crazy out here. Go get yourself together. Yeah. This person keeps taking everything personal when they really have to realize, like, no, it's actually your personal issues. Like, it's your personal issues. You can't take something personal that is actually all of yours. Your childhood is nobody else's responsibility but yours. That's what that whole saying means. Like, I'm finally being the person that I needed to be for my inner child. Duh. But they don't get it. They really do not get it. They don't get how, like, spreading love. And it's like, first of all, if you loved yourself enough, you would actually take the time to do that, because you would want what's on the other side of that. You would want to know which audition to show up at that would lead you to the right opportunity. You would want to know, what type of things to post in order to get the traction in the first place. Like, you would be, researching, listen. I feel like in researching is coming up in the person whose energy is like the pink glasses bike person. It's like, he may have to go and find out, like, okay, how do I fix this? But he's willing to take the time because it interests him. He's willing to sit, on a Saturday morning while he's drinking his coffee and be like, okay, let me pull up this little info. Yeah, this person needs, oh, I heard Rockabye Baby. And that was a download a little bit ago. And I watched the scene again because I just wanted to see it. And I watched it and I was like, oh, dang, Spirit, that's a download. Why is that a download? But this person is like in that energy of like, I don't know, because I'm not these people, and I don't know what all they've done. But I know that when you do a lot comes back. Because collective, if your walk felt, looked, seemed, smelt any of that hard at all, at any single point, okay, then you've earned every right to stand in the position that you're going into, like to need to take anybody else's advice. This is giving very much though, so Rockabye Baby. Yeah, look. I was reading on the bottom, it says, what if you could send your problems away today? At the bottom. That letter is on fire. Just like that booty hole. Yes. Oh, what if somebody actually has that problem? Okay. And this was the other thing too. There's this couple The booty hall of fire thing, only bringing up this couple, but that's also been a download. Like I watched that thing, and it's that couple, the Frenchman and I don't know her name, Dior or something like that. Essentially, they were both in karmic energy, right? I mean, let's just be honest. It was something that they would do. Like the fact that these arguments, fussing and fighting was going on, and then they're presenting another image outwardly, they weren't made to be together. That's what maybe the collective has learned about karmics versus, about karmics. And that's why they're in their highest vibration there. Yeah, this owl is coming out. Let me look and see what this says. Yeah, don't do this today if you don't want to. They know better. And the collective's like, okay. And the collective is also an energy like not any other day. Like not in my dreams am I going to give into this energy. Not in my nightmares. Not in my, it's just not an option. Not in my next lifetime. And that's also why this person is maybe being told this. Maybe this person is being told, like, you need to leave that alone before you, I don't know, make yourself sick. Look, this person keeps saying, well, everybody has their own time to grieve. I don't think this person realizes they've been grieving since this. That's the grieving they need to focus on right now. They've been grieving since this. Since the father issue started. Since the daddy issue started. They've been grieving since that. And looking in the mirror. So basically seeing and understand that energy I was saying before. Like maybe where they went wrong or something like that. Where they, didn't know when to stop. And it was like party your heart out type of energy. Not really being in a serious energy. Not willing to get buried so that you could grow. Yeah. It's definitely like a literal, like, get out of your comfort zone. And this person doesn't realize that they're in their comfort zone. They keep seeing the comfort, like they compartmentalize it when really there's like no way around it. When in actuality, it's also sounding an energy much like people have always, like I said, people have always given to this person. So they're spoiled. And I realize I've done that with my children too. It's like my boys, sometimes they won't eat dinner if I don't make their plates. And my daughter too, but she's only 9. But in actuality, when they want to get in there and go make something on their own, they know how to do it. Right? You feel me? So it's like this level of responsibility. But again, mine's are children, and if they decide to starve themselves, well, then I guess they'll be eating leftovers. Right? It's like the danger of leftovers. In my house, it's not a bad thing, but I don't feel like my children like leftovers either. And so it's like a virtual reality for them. So in reality for my children, it's kind of like, oh, okay, they're being faced with like the recognition of like, okay, mom's not going to play that with us. It's like, oh, okay, you didn't eat dinner? Oh, okay, well then you can have it for lunch. Oh no, you can have it for dinner. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not giving like, and it's not coming from a broken place. It's coming from a place of, because I've never been like that with my children. You know how some people are like, you have to eat whatever, I put on the plate. No, I'm not like that. I make things that I know my children like. You know what I mean? It's their laziness that they're being confronted with, and it's because they're spoiled. And I'd rather, nip it in the bud and start doing more things about it now. So again, these people are in the very spoiled energy. Wow. Maybe that even haunts this person too. The fact that like they know that you're a good parent. I'm gonna just put it there. Like they know that you're a good parent. And they realize that in your being a good parent, that also helps you to so this person, if they haven't, they've already lost custody because it feels like there's no connection there. Again, this person may even feel like if there is a child or children involved and they're seeing how you're a good parent, they're wondering like, oh, well, or trying to make it seem somewhat how like, oh, my children are going to, need healing from my absence. No, your children have already learned how to heal from within, like during your absence, because the other parent had to be so strong and show them what's right and what's wrong. Like help them to see themselves in the Nine of Pentacles. Help them to understand, you know, that it gets you to the King of Pentacles eventually. You know what I mean? Maybe there's something about finance or the laziness of these individuals, the lack of desire, you know, that leaves them in this energy of really needed to learn a lot about money, not just how to spend it, how to make it, how to create it, how to, you know, attract it, how to be it. Because some people feel like, oh, you know, I'm looking like money, so that must make me money. And that's where a lot of people get disillusioned. And it's not always, you know, it's about like, well, what else can you do? What's the new money? You know, because essentially that's how you make a legacy. That's how you make generational wealth and not I'm hearing generational wealth and generational health. Okay. All right. That health comes from that going within part. Thank you. Oh, look. That health comes from going within. It's like that added extra part that maintains money. Ooh, yes. Knows how to build a structure, because I just saw. Okay, let me go ahead and use it. Ooh, look. It's something that, man, these partnerships coming in for you. Wow. It went right over where the other, is it two? No, that's a Two of Cups. No, that's a Two of Pentacles. But it's giving the same energy, like people in great partnerships, right? But this is also just the Two of Wands, right? And two is always the duality in any situation. So there's like, maybe because you've also learned how to balance your masculine and feminine energies. So feminines, that's you getting out of the ego of the need, you know, those daddy issues, the need to be so much of a doer, you know, so much in an emperor energy, not in the reverse, right? But in the upright. This is a whole new game, because you previously were in the emperor in the reverse energy, divine feminine. And now you've mastered that duality of the two-ness, of understanding the purpose and the point and the premise of a counterpart. You're putting things together. It's like something else is going to click, and you're going to be like, oh, you're going to get, I think, maybe 2 to 3 different synchronicities or things. Not that you don't already get them, right? But that help you. You know, it's this whole, that's that guidance. That's that flower. Knowing like, oh, okay, you can bury me. You know, go ahead and, you know, put me down. That maybe that's where people got things confused at most too. Oh, but let's finish on this Two of Wands. So it's showing that duality. Okay. Just in your progress and discovery, even like all the creativity that literally surrounds your being right now. I feel like every place and space that you go into, as long as the individuals in the space, no, I feel like even if it's not allowed, you're still able to bring and present what you're supposed to. It may be just as simple as like, recently I had to go to the post office because somebody was playing with my mail, and I've seen that that's been happening a lot. I meant to put that in the community page. Like, okay, it is, people need to start checking their mail, or even if you always had your mail coming to your address, check and see if, you know, put in a change of address. You know, just pick the last 3 addresses and put 3 in, because I feel like some people may have been, you know, up to some shenanigans, maybe mailed something to an old address even, or new, like gave your old address as your address and then went over there saying that they were you. I'm getting like somebody's going to go down for mail fraud and like identity theft. Like they've actually went and got ID. Ooh, yeah, in your name. But anyway, let's get back to this Two of Wands. So that was sounding good. So, it's like everywhere you go, anywhere that you enter, all the places that you know, exist in, you know, that you allow your energy to exist in, because you also know how to close it off, where you go in and you don't have to connect, and you don't connect with anybody, but you're not unpleasant, right? You're just moving forward like it's business as usual. That's that NPC hat. You know, you can go into places and, you know, just play the regular routine role, you know, of a customer. But like I was saying, okay, in the customer energy, it may just even be like, okay, I had to go down and get my mail. And the mail lady told me specifically, oh, you need to go to this one over here. And I was like, okay, fine. So I set out to go over there the next morning. I get over there the next morning, and that person's like, oh, we don't do that here. You know, you can't pick up mail here. You have to go to this location. Okay. you know, and you can see how somebody's, you know, clearly if somebody's tampering with your mail in the first place, and that negative energy is already being sent to you, right? It's already being directed at you, right? So, you know, what it is, that's why we're directed to one place, and then you get to the second place. So I get to the second place. Why, y'all? Why is this place not the place? This is not the post office to pick it up. Now I've been misguided twice by employees. Like, I'm not looking this up and like Googling like which library should I go to, or, you know, what post office should I go to? I'm not just Googling, you know, I'm not just out here on a whim. I'm being guided by actual people who are being paid to do this. Now, here's where you end up doing other people's jobs, okay? And in these instances, it's fine because there's a missing piece for somebody upwards that it needs to be presented to somebody in a strong way that they don't forget, like, oh, you know what? We probably aren't really doing our job, you know, as well as we should be, especially with the United States Postal Service. Like, that I should not have gotten misdirected that many times. I could understand the mail lady telling me to come up the street because that's the closest one. I could understand that person telling me to go to the other location because that's what's up. And then for that third location to still not have it, I'm like, you guys need to notify this, the first location and the second one. You know what I mean? Like, and the mail lady and the carrier's like, this needs to go out as like a general message. Do people not read memos at work? Is that the life we're in? We don't read the memos to understand the information? Like, which really could be a thing right now, which is why you were put in that position, right? Because I get to the third place, mail's not there. I guess because of the whole interaction previously or whatever, I don't know. That's what they're claiming though. Like, oh yeah, because you took the yellow slip from the person and it didn't come back, so we didn't know. And I'm just kind of like, I don't believe any of that garbage, but it is what it is. But I ended up having to call and place a complaint because somebody needs to communicate this somewhere so that they don't send people to what, 2-3 different places in one day. You know, imagine if I was on a 1 hour lunch break and I had to go to 3 different parts of town, all approximately 20 to 30 minutes away from each other. Real talk. Anyway. But that's maybe how you're able to give your energy in spaces where it's not wanted, is that you're coming through and in your good spirited energy, it kind of is like showing people in their face that they're in the wrong energy. Like, I'm still getting that very much so. Yeah. And it's real quick too. Because everybody was just like, they just looked at the address and they didn't like, I'm wondering too, like, are they reading the memos then? Because like, it could have been something that came across their desk and they're like, oh yeah, we know bill pickup is over at XYZ location. Really, it's at ABC, but because they didn't look at the memo, like, it could be a number of things. I'm also getting that's heavily their energy. That's why, you know, things present themselves. But for those people thinking that they're sending the spell work and negative energy, like, shit's going to happen, right? Regardless. It's about how the collective manages it. And then most often, collective manages it in such a way that it's, you know, they're not in the wrong energy. They're in this balanced energy. They're in a really balanced energy. They contemplate and assess their directions. It's like, okay, do I have enough time to get over there? Maybe stand in the line if I have to, or you know what I mean? They assess it. Yeah, and maybe that's something people think like, oh, if we can send you to send them this energy. No, because the collective doesn't take it personal, which is what you've been told to do. The collective doesn't take it personal. They're just like, okay, this person's crazy. Like, this person is crazy. They're burdened by even having to figure out where they're going, is what I'm getting from this 3 of Wands, 10 of Swords. I'm sorry, 3 of Wands, 10 of Wands. They're burdened by the responsibility, the knowledge, because it was over the 3 of Wands when it came out. They're burdened by that. And I don't remember if they came face up or face down, but it feels like they were face down because these people don't want to face this. And they don't have to. They can go run and hide because that's the only option. Like, it's just going to happen. Look, now the collective's out. Look, because the collective went within. The collective was taking the time to look out the window and be like, okay, do I not have time for any extra stuff today? It's like my grandmother told me. I used to take her with me. Sometimes I'd be like, Grandma, go with me to, to Chinatown. You know, because I just wanted to go to Chinatown. Might have been something, I don't know. You never know with me, right? Could have just been some rice candy. But it's like, knowing if you have the strength to, you know, endure whatever's may come at you that day. And you always have that strength is what I'm getting, because I think that's already out here, right? You already know. The reason why you have the strength is because you went through the process of grounding yourself. You know, it's still giving that, like, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to hide them. I don't know. Wow. Wow. It's the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups. It's still giving that same energy, like know when to sit and contemplate about where to give your love, your effort, your energy, and all of that, right? You know, you sipping your water, you know, minding your business. And then when you're ready to go, you know, when you're going to change your hair and all kinds of stuff. Okay. Nobody mad at it. Yeah, you're in this whole energy. Like, you know, like I'm saying, someone could easily start out at, you know, a farmer's market, right? And from there, their jams and jellies are in a store. They're in the local Kroger's. They're in the Fry's and whatever else is named in other places. Because in reality, as long as we have these tariffs and these different things that are not coming from other countries, like, you know, just to take a side note from that, this is going to be something that's going to take place. You know, how did Smuckers become Smuckers? You know, how did this become that? Look, the Hierophant and the Wheel of Fortune. It's like, yes, going within, having the time to focus on yourself and all the rest of that, and not being, yeah, it's almost like when you're playing a game of cards, you can't be concerned about what's going on with everybody. You have to be observant of them, but you can't be worried about making sure they know that you saw what they did, right? That would be a stupid move, right? Yeah, that's what's bringing the Tower in for these people, that they know that you know that they would be a stupid move. They would be a stupid move in life. To be their friend, to be their associate, for them to be your driver, for them to be your woman, your man, your cousin, your ex-best friend, any of that. Like the whole lack of acknowledgement. That's what I'm getting right here in this space between. It's like there's no even acknowledgement too. Like so many people want to be seen, heard, and felt. Yeah, you've moved on from that though. Like you had plenty of time to figure out where it is you were going to. You had plenty of time to go through, you know, whatever emotions and really heal your inner child. Wow. Someone's realizing that, like, if the collective waits on you, it'll be one of these instances. They won't even get there, you know, within the time to even keep you. I don't know. It's giving some kind of that energy. Like these people know if they came back, it's like, yeah, the collective would take themselves out. Like, I don't know. It's just giving that energy. If it's like the only option is to, it's like, nah. Like even I don't know, maybe somebody's trying to still send this energy like they're going to take out your new person, this Knight of Swords energy. Oh, that's funny. Like maybe that's what they're telling people. It's like, nah, ain't nobody ever going to be with my person, like over my dead body kind of energy. I'm like, well, you see where you end up. You want to play around, keep it up. I'm just keeping it 100. Like this is feeling like coming from both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Like, yeah, no, if you think you're over your dead body, correct. If you come in trying to take my person from me, essentially, there's not going to be no me either. So that would just be a foolish game. That would just be a foolish game. Yep. This nice Knight of Swords energy too is also giving like, because of the ability to have a quick emotion too. It's like what allow, oh, okay. So this person knowing that they were going to go to the audition too. It's like if you and 12 other people end up at the audition and making it to that final round where you get the, let's say it's 5 judges seats, right? Okay. Just to make the numbers off a little. They knew they were on a similar type path, right? So they knew that they had to keep up whatever it is that they were doing. They had to keep their motion. That's what I'm understanding. Whomever your new person is, or you and your new person knew you had to keep your motion despite whatever anybody else wants to, you know, energetically, you know, push, pull, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, look, it's this heavy Knight of Cups, like knowing where to place your love. Like I said, your affinity. Like, okay, well, you know. Yeah, it's really strong too. It's a heavy lover's energy. Like this, but that's what's important, right? That you love what you're doing, that you love who you're with, that you love how you spend your time, that you love, you know what I mean? I'm just keeping it 100. It really is. It really is. Yep, that's leaving a lot of people out. Look, this is what flew up in my hand. The Five of Pentacles, and then I put it this way. These endings are what's really, you know, allowing these people to realize that. Especially, I guess, maybe the you, Emperor, because that's what's popped out underneath that is like the Emperor energy, you know, has already went through that metamorphosis is what I'm understanding, because it's got this right towards the in this, I'm getting phase of cups, like phase of maturing from the King of Cups through all the way up and through to the Emperor energy, because that's maybe where, you know, the Divine Masculine struggled, was in that Page of Cups energy, you know, knowing how to learn to love. I'm hearing divinely, completely, purely. Like there's a lot of different facets of it, because again, the growth isn't like, oh, that was real love, like them learning that at some point in their life, right? Oh, they're also realizing that in other spaces or places or, you know, life seasons and whatever. That's good stuff. Yeah, the manifestations, like that's why the manifestation, because I shuffled and it was on the bottom, I shuffled again. That's why the manifestations are moving like they are. Look at this feminine energy though in the car. She got all the guns and ammo, so I feel like everybody's ready. Look, and then the next one is like the Emperor energy. So it's like Divine Feminine is on her way, Divine Masculine is on his way, and that's just what it is. Yeah. And then here's that Queen of Pentacles again. Wow. Wow. That's got somebody who's in the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, like caught out there. Caught out there. I hate you so much right now. I'm not even kidding. Look. So it's like, this is, because I was like, this energy didn't feel right in my hand. So I was like, oh, it's not divine. But it's like, if I had probably shuffled, it probably would have flipped. But anyway, it's like this, or this person may come off like someone who has money, you know, or they may be attached to money. But again, that's that change that's coming in. That's that ending that's taking place. That's that shadow behind them. Ooh, there's somebody else on the floor too. It's another one of these situations. This is going to happen without anybody doing something. Like this is something that's going to be like, I walked across the street, got hit by a bus, kind of. I didn't even see it coming kind of energy. I'm telling you, because for this to be out here twice now. Yeah, look. Wow. Okay, so yeah, anyway, this Queen of Pentacles is realizing that. That's what they're realizing. They're all, and it's bringing, like they're in agony, they're in pain, like they're in like emotional, like they're distraught, like they're hurt, but they're only hurt because they couldn't control the situation. They're not hurt because they made the mistake. And see, that's something that I learned, like when I instantly looked back at someone and was like, dang, I missed it. I missed out on that one. Like the one time that I actually felt like that, which I later realized, nope. But I don't know, because that's the marriage that because when they got married, they were a cheater, like out the gate. So I don't know, but it also could have been like the fact that I hurt this person too. So, you know, maybe if I had played my cards right, you know, it wasn't so where I was in my karmic energy, you know, I can't discount that. But as time progressed, they didn't heal either, right? They didn't heal from whatever I had put on them, you know, and that's ultimately everybody's own, you know, thing that they have to do on their own. You know, they got to pull themselves. They got to let their higher self. Look at that. The sun is behind the person's head. I feel like that's somebody pulling themselves out the grave. Like that's literally what has to happen. But this was the last card from this set here with like this Queen of Pentacles, who I believe is in reverse, right? Who's having to face the reverse energy or whatever is happening here. Like they hate you so much right now. Look, but they're realizing like how they let themselves be used. Like not necessarily by you, but just like how they let themselves be used by not taking themselves seriously, right? By only looking at, being so shallow, because I'm getting like only focused on, people that were attractive or hot at the time and like what everybody else wanted. And that made them feel, satisfied and sufficient. Like I can get any guy kind of energy. Look, all I got to do is just lay down in this bed in my dusty ass, dirty ass room, and blah, 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 blah. And then judgment was called on that for one person or the other. Because I felt like these individuals would, they meander and do all kinds of stuff with all kinds of people, I don't care what they make it. I don't care what appearances they're keeping up. Okay. Because we all see there's plenty of married people that be inviting people into their bedroom and blah, 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 blah. And people are like, oh, this was done back in the old times. Yeah, but not for the same reasons. Not just to have extra side pieces. It wasn't for that. If you don't feel physically fed by the person that you're interacting with, you probably have an attachment. You probably have a demonic attachment. And the basis of it is in that relationship. Anyway, that's bringing me back to that Frenchman and I think Des Dior, I think that's what her name was or something. I don't know. Forgive me if I'm yelling out some rapper who I do not know. Because I don't know no rappers. Ice Cube? What are we talking about right now? Anybody nameable? Like worth naming? Like let's just keep it 100. And yes, there are others, but I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm getting that energy too. It's like, I'm trying to remember what the download was when I was watching this, like which one of the downloads that I was getting. Not only had they done spell work, so that's maybe a part of this too. It's like, not only did these individuals do spell work, either to get with the collective or to, keep the collective stuck in a loop, so to speak, unable to really, see the cycle to get out, because that's what he was saying. The guy was saying, he was like, and I've been trying to get out for the last 2 or 3 years. Yeah, if you've been trying to get out of something for the last 2 or 3 years, you need to let it go. He said, every time I try to leave, and I was like, dang, I said that in my reading. I wonder if he was watching my reading, was like, see, just some random reader who don't get a lot of views. Because that came up in my reading. I said, if every time you try to leave, something keeps holding you back, ooh, move on. But who knows, like who really knows? Because it may win favor that something just pop up in someone's view and I'm not a popular reader, right? I'm just saying, especially when you got all this chaos going on, you know what I mean? And then you see this alignment over here and you're like, well, I know that where I'm at feels like this. And I know I need to be over here. That's also something the collective learned, possibly by watching readings too. Okay, so this has been said, I think, in my previous reading, but now it's being shown. Like, the reality of the matter is that it's pieces and parts, and you never know, which pieces and parts, really show you, that you really need to surrender to, is what I'm getting. Because this person doesn't look like they're on the wrong path. It looks like the light is being revealed to them, like they're coming out of the clouds, kind of thing. Not head in the clouds, coming out of the clouds. That's the process here, right? Is realizing that you're in the wrong relationship. That's what I'm getting, because it was still this Chariot card on the bottom, and then it's this Knight of Pentacles. So like thinking about like, when it first pops into your head, like when it first comes into your mind. Yeah, because he admitted he's said that she went and had work done on him, and then vice versa, he said the same thing. And it's been clarified that he wasn't in a same-sex relationship with his friend, right? It was like actually that he had set somebody up. So I'm getting in strong direction that some people should acknowledge the fact that there may be family members of theirs that are going to be incarcerated for the attempted or the actual, okay? Attempted or the actual. There's both out here on the table. I'm just telling you, like if they had some beef, kind of, where they felt so inclined, to be reckless like that, because that was a reckless move on his part, right? But it was a calculated, and it's like these are individuals that justice always ends up getting served anyway, right? Justice always ends up getting served, which is what I feel like is like a huge component as far as like I'm getting the very Nine of Wands energy for these people's family, like the Udi, is it Ood? I don't want to say it wrong, but the gentleman that it's alleged that the Frenchman had ended his life, like set him up and, you know, whatever. But I'm feeling like somebody's going to find out that, yeah, somebody's going to start digging into something or something like that. And they're going to find that out. Yeah. And it's going to be their family. Like, it's going to be someone like close like that. It's like either it's going to be somebody who's family or somebody that they consider family. Okay. That's been a heavy energy that's been coming out. Yep, that's coming out with the Star and the High Priestess behind it. So yeah, that's very much so the same circumstances that are coming out in some of these other people's lives. So if you have exes or, you know, people like that who, you know, essentially, if you don't put it past them, you know what I mean? Like, to go as low as they possibly needed to, or felt like they needed to, or were, you know, maybe even on drugs, you know, believing, or whatever, you know, or again, maybe it's just justice. You know, everybody ends up where they're supposed to be. Oh, look at this. Collective. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying here. Yeah. Ooh, wow. Because justice, what I'm getting here is because justice is always going to call for someone to go within. Like, justice is always going to call for the person to go within in some way, shape, or form. And I believe that that Frenchman guy, he went, justice called for him to go within about what he had done to his friend in that moment that she spoke that out in a way that could not be taken back. When he pillow talked to her about that, it was something different. It was in a different, you know, maneuver. It's like to let this person know, or maybe even get the guilty feeling off their chest with somebody that they felt like would keep their secrets, which she was, until he went and spilling hers, right? And I don't feel like there's any difference, because if you out there doing stuff, then you out there doing stuff. I'm just keeping 100. Like, well, you know, if you don't want people to tell about what you be out there doing, don't be out there doing it. That's an easy way to keep yourself out of trouble. I'm just saying. I mean, don't you think? But a lot of these people don't carry that emotion within them because of their hatred for other people, right? They could never, because I mean, clearly it is exuded in their behavior. Person's behavior and how they treat other people is exactly how they feel about themselves. It's exactly how they feel about themselves. It's exactly how they feel about everybody around them. Like, it's the energy of a narcissist. Like, even their family, you know, because if you really consider these people family, would you be able to set somebody up like that? Even if it was just to bring the person hardships, you know what I mean? Or attempt to. Really not knowing, you know, what that meant. Well, you know, because what I'm getting is really not knowing that the whole purpose of anything previously, so like, maybe people have to go so far as to commit mail fraud in order to actually affect you. Like, they have to actually go commit crimes. You know what I mean? And then even when they do that, it's gotten them nowhere ultimately, right? Because in those moments you figured out, oh, okay, let me go ahead and assess this before I even get into this game. And then just let me keep my head in the game while I'm in it. You know, let me go on ahead and go to this audition. Wow. This is so sad for these people. Yeah, this is a part of your rites of passage. This is a part of your, like your growth into and transition into your, this is the reason, right? The swords are reasoning, right? Air energy. This is the 6 of swords, which is growth and the rites of passage in transition. You see it happening. These people got into the arguments that they always get into, and clearly have been bringing other people into their drama who also didn't know how to respond to it, because they probably have their own, right? Because someone who doesn't have drama would be on the phone with you like, girl, you need to calm down. You need to not respond to anything that he says or does right now. Let that completely and totally be on him the next morning, because apparently he was drinking, right? When you let people, you know, I think I was telling my daughter or my younger son, I was telling one of them, but I was like, if you heard the saying, give somebody rope, you know, and let them go, you know, do what they will. But it feels like the rope was so long and the collective let go of it. And this person just went off tangled themselves up. And the collective just sat there watching these people, or I don't even feel like the collective cared. I feel like the only reason that it even attempts is because they're still not healed. Like the only reason why these people do anything to kind of, send out negative energy and blah, 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 blah. And look, Ace of Swords. The only reason, that's the truth and clarity on that. Like if you need some binoculars to see it, then now you have synced it. Okay. It's just the reality of it. That's the truth. That is the truth of it. These people have been so focused on the wrong things. So incredibly focused on the wrong things. It would never pan out for them the way that they want it to. Wow. Wow. And a collective just sitting here manifesting and doing. Where was we at? I was talking about something else, though, I think. That Six of Swords. Yeah. Collectives in this rest. And listen. She on the road with the ammo. He making a break for it while everybody's asleep. And they gonna sit and rest when they get together. That's just how it... Listen, I'm gonna end it here with the High Priestess on the bottom. Okay, I gotta go. I'll catch you on the next one. See you when I see you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Later.